ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees for this session on the glories of Bhagavad Gita on this occasion of uh, Gita Jayanti. Lord Krishna spoke this Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to enlighten his dear devotee and friend Arjuna. Arjuna was confused about performing his duty just before the Kurukshetra war began, and such confusions are very common in the lives of so many people. Arjuna said, Karpanya doshopahata svabhava pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha chetah. यह श्रेयस्य निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. He said that I have great intelligence as a human being, but now I am overwhelmed with this karpanya dosha. What is karpanya dosha? Miserly weakness. Why is he calling himself as someone who is affected by miserly weakness? What miserliness did he show? Miser is a person who has a lot of wealth but doesn't utilize it properly, right? Even for his own enjoyment. Such a person is called miser. But here the word miser is used to indicate a person who does not have the ability or inclination to use one's intelligence. Arjuna had a lot of intelligence, but is unable to utilize it to come out of the crisis. Okay, therefore he is called miserly. So I am overwhelmed with this miserly weakness. Can you please, mm, enlighten me? You are my friend. You are my cousin. You have become my driver. Now can you become my teacher? I'll become your student. Okay, I'm accepting you as my spiritual master, as my guru. Sishyaste ham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Sishyaste aham. I am your Sishya, student, disciple. Please enlighten me. So our Krishna said, yes, I'll accept. I am a great lover of my devotees. Whatever my devotees expect me to do, I will do. So Krishna is very clear. So Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. Now Bhagavad Gita is spoken to Arjuna by Krishna in the context of war. But the content is not war. Content is life, life's teachings. So how many shlokas of Bhagavad Gita talk about war? Hardly 10, 12. But 700 shlokas are not talking about war. The real content of Bhagavad Gita is not war. It is life, how to live and how to live. Krishna speaks about the art of living. Krishna also talks about the art of dying in the 8th chapter specifically. How to die? Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. So one who remembers Krishna at the time of death will certainly reach Krishna after death. Okay, so that's what Krishna says. Anyways, apart from this, Krishna says so many things. At the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says that Krishna, now I understood everything. Earlier he said, Dharma sammudha chetaha. I am confused in performance of my duty. Now he is saying that I am clear. I have clear understanding of what am I supposed to do. What is that clarity? How did he express that clarity? He said, Nashto moha smritir labdha tvat prasadan mayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Nashto moha smritir labdha. I have lost all my doubts. Right? Nashto moha means I have been relieved from all this illusion. Smritir labdha means I have regained my memory. How? Tvat prasadan mayachyuta. By your grace, by your mercy, O Achyuta. Sthitosmi gata sandeha. All my doubts are cleared. Karishye vachanam tava. Whatever you say, I will do. Okay. In this way, Lord Krishna enlightened Arjuna, and Arjuna was completely enlightened and cleared from all doubts. So Bhagavad Gita takes us on a journey from confusion to clarity. So now what is the essential message of Bhagavad Gita? In the Gita, Krishna talks about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. 4 yogas he talks. But out of all these 4 yogas, Krishna is primarily focusing on Bhakti Yoga. Focusing means he basically gives more importance and priority to Bhakti Yoga, and he says, this is what you need to follow. I am speaking other things, maybe others want to prefer, but my preference for my devotees is they should follow Bhakti Yoga. And Krishna elaborated on the teachings of Bhakti Yoga. In fact, every single chapter of Bhagavad Gita talks about Bhakti. Every single chapter. First chapter, there is Bhakti. Krishna is showing his Bhakta Vatsalyata on Arjuna. Okay. Second chapter, there is Bhakti. You know what Krishna said in second chapter? He said, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigунyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastho Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. Krishna said there are 3 gunas, Traigunya. And Vedas are presenting so much about 3 gunas. But Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigунyo Bhavarjuna. Nistraigunya, you transcend material modes. What is that? What is that state of transcending material modes? That is the state of bhakti. A consciousness which is centered on Krishna, Krishna consciousness. So, when Krishna said, you practice, you overcome the 3 modes, he is basically saying you come to the level of bhakti. Because only bhakti is on the level of Nistraigunya, beyond the 3 modes. All other things are within the 3 modes. Okay. So, in the 3rd chapter also Krishna speaks about bhakti. He says, Mam cha yovyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. And not this. He says, in the 3rd chapter,
Mai sarvani karma.
Correct, exactly. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyadhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatajvaraha. He said, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya. Sanyasya means giving up. Okay. Renouncing, being detached from. That is sanyasya. Sannyasa means taking sannyasa. This Krishna is not speaking about the order of sannyasa. He is speaking about the spirit of sannyas. He said, Sanyasya. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya. You dedicate all your activities to me. So just giving up the results of activities is karma yoga. But giving those results to Krishna is Bhakti Yoga. Right? Therefore, Krishna said, Mayi Sarvani Karmani. In the midst of Karma Yoga chapter, he is bringing a Bhakti Yoga shloka. Right? Mayi Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya Adhyatma Chetasa. Right? You be in spiritual consciousness. Adhyatma Chetasa means spiritual consciousness. And material consciousness is to think about oneself, one's own salvation, one's own enjoyment. But spiritual consciousness means to think about what pleases Krishna. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa. Give up the results, dedicate all of them to me, and be in adhyatma chetasa. Be in spiritual consciousness. Right? And further he said, Nirashir nirmamo bhutva. Nirashi means don't have any hankerings, don't have so many longings, don't have so many material desires. Nirmama means don't be possessive about your possessions, right? Having possessions is not wrong. Having positions is not wrong. Being possessive about the positions and possessions is wrong. So, nirmama. Give up this mameti concept, aham mameti concept. Nirashir nirmamo bhutva yuddhasva vigatajvaraha. You perform yuddha. You perform your duty of fighting. But vigatajvaraha, without any laziness you fight. But nirmama, nirahankara. Okay. So in this way, Krishna spoke about bhakti in the 3rd chapter also. In the 4th chapter of Gita, Krishna again spoke about bhakti. Okay. In fact, several shlokas in the 4th chapter, actually from beginning till I think around first 10 shlokas, are talking about bhakti only. Where Krishna says why he appears. He says, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He also says, Ajopisan avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropisan. Krishna speaks about himself. And Krishna also talks that he descends on this planet to bless his devotees, to protect his devotees, to establish dharma, to punish those people who are troubling his devotees. Right? He highlights devotional service there. Vita raga bhaya krodha manmaya mamupasritaha bhavo gnana tapasa puta madbhava magata. So, taking shelter of me and giving up all these qualities like lust, envy, pride, greed, many people have attained me. That is, 4th chapter is also filled with Bhakti Yoga, right? Or at least many slokas are talking about Bhakti Yoga, although title is Jnana Yoga. In the 5th chapter, Krishna ends with Bhakti Yoga. Such a beautiful shloka. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhurdam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam shanti mrichyati. Krishna says, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. I am the supreme enjoyer of all yajnas, all austerities. Sarvaloka maheshwaram. I am the supreme proprietor of all planets. Suhridam sarva bhutanam. Although I am so great, I am the beloved and Lord and the sincere well-wisher of all living beings. Right? Suhridam sarva bhutanam. Only if you understand this, you will attain peace. Gnatva mam shanti mrichyati. In this way, in the 5th chapter also Krishna spoke about bhakti. In the 6th chapter, Krishna said at the end, Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam sami suktatamo matah. Yoginam api sarvesham, of all yogis, one who always worships me, remembers me, meditates on me, does smaranam within his heart, he is the best yogi. That is a bhakti yogi. So, in all the first 6 chapters, which are prominently talking about karma yoga and little jnana yoga, little ashtanga yoga, Krishna is putting bhakti everywhere in all chapters. And the middle section, 7th to 8th, this entire section is about bhakti only. Right? There are so many shlokas about bhakti. For example, in the 7th chapter, Krishna said, Daivi hyesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mame vaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. Krishna said, that this Maya is filled with gunas and it is constantly binding the conditioned souls. How to come out of it? Mame vaye prapadyante, take my shelter. I will relieve you from Maya. Okay. So taking shelter of Krishna is bhakti. And Krishna also said so many other things like Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gnanavan Mam Prapadyate. Even after so many lifetimes, people may not attain Krishna, but one who attains Krishna is actually a devotee of Krishna, right? And many other shlokas are there. Let's go to the 8th chapter. In the 8th chapter, Krishna spoke several shlokas about Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Especially in the initial part, he says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. You always remember me and come to me. Okay. You will be able to come to me only when you remember me always. Mayyarpita mano buddhir. You also offer your mana and buddhi, mind and intelligence to me. Then you will come to me, for sure. Then in the 14th sloka especially, he said, Ananya chetaha satatam yomam smarta nityasaha. Tasya aham swalabhaha partha. I am very, very easily attainable for somebody, for that devotee who always remembers me. Ananya chetaha satatam. Yomam smarati nityasaha. Satata means always. Nityasaha means always. Right? Or regularly. Krishna is this word 2 times. So constant absorption in Krishna conscious activities will keep us in Krishna's company, that will make us attain Krishna very easily. Solabham, the word Solabham, Krishna uses the word only in this shloka, right? Saying that bhakti is the easiest path to attain. Bhaktya labhyestu ananyaya. I am very easily attainable by bhakti. And he culminates the chapter by saying, Vedeshu yagneshu tapassu chaiva dhaneshu yat punya phala pratishtam atyeti tatsarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam apaiti chadyam. What you get by studying Vedas, performing yajnas, doing tapasya, etc., etc., you will get all that by practicing bhakti. And you will get much more than that also. And 9th chapter is filled with bhakti. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitra Madhamattamam. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakriti mashrita. Means Mahatmas or great souls are those who take shelter of Srimati Radharani. This is the 9th chapter, 13th shloka. In the 13th shloka of 9th chapter, Krishna spoke about Radharani, and this happens to be shloka number 350 in Bhagavad Gita. Gita has 700 shlokas, right? The middlemost 2 shlokas are 350 and 351, isn't it? Shloka number 350, Krishna kept Radharani. Daivim prakriti mashritaha bhajanti ananya manaso gnatva bhutadim avyayam. In shloka number 351, he kept holy name. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha. You always chant my holy names. Okay. So Radharani and holy name, they were kept in the center of Bhagavad Gita. And many other shlokas. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paripasate samoham sarva bhuteshu manmana bhavamat bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Right? All these brilliant shlokas come in the 9th chapter, which is my favorite chapter in entire Gita. Okay. So 10th chapter also has bhakti. Profusely, it's dripping with bhakti actually, especially in the initial part. So he says that aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Aham sarvasya prabhavo, I am everywhere. Or everything emanated from me. I am the origin of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate. Means everything emanates from me, everything appeared from me. Knowing this, you worship me with your body, with your mind, and with your intelligence. Right? Bhajanti mam, you serve me with your senses. Buddha, understand me with your intelligence. Bhava, develop emotions for me. Right? And like that, many other shlokas are there. Further, in the 11th chapter, there is a beautiful shloka at the end. Generally, in many chapters, Krishna concludes with bhakti shloka. Right? You see this phenomena. The last shlokas are quite special in many chapters. Okay. So, like for example, Manmana Bhavamat Bhakto is the last shloka of 9th chapter. Yoginamapi Sarvesham is the last shloka of 6th chapter. Okay. Then what is that? Bhoktaram Vigna Tapasam, last shloka of 5th chapter. Vedeshu Yagneshu Tapasya, last shloka of 8th chapter. Like that, Krishna is concluding many chapters with bhakti. Similarly, in the 11th chapter, he concluded with bhakti. Mat karma kranmat paramo mad bhaktah sangavarjitah nirvairam sarva bhuteshu yahasamameti pandava. Mat karma kran mat paramo. Mat karma kran means you always work for me. Mat paramo means consider me as the supreme. Mad bhaktaha, become my devotee. Sangavarjitaha, give up all attachments. Right? So in this way, Krishna describes the glory of Bhakti Yoga and he recommends Bhakti at the end of 11th chapter. Right? Mad bhaktaha sangavarjitaha nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu. Don't have any enmity. Right? Then you will attain me. So now let's come to the 12th chapter. In fact, 12th chapter is entitled as Bhakti Yoga. Right? Only 20 shlokas are there. Most of them are about Bhakti only. Adveshta sarva bhutana maitraha karuna evacha. The speciality of 12th chapter is, apart from describing the glory of Bhakti, Krishna describes the qualities of a Bhakta. What are the qualities that we are supposed to develop to become dear to Krishna? That is the subject matter of the last part of 12th chapter, 12.13 to 20. Okay, you should be non-envious. Maitraha karuna evacha, you should be compassionate. You should be friendly towards all living beings. Like that Krishna speaks. And Mayeva Manadhat Swami Buddhim Niveshaya. So many shlokas are there. So that completes the middle section where Krishna primarily talks about Bhakti Yoga. Now 13th chapter. Okay. This also has Bhakti. Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam. In the 13th chapter, Krishna talks about Gnana, Gneyam, Prakriti, Purusha, all that. So there he speaks around 20 or more aspects of knowledge. In that, basically Krishna talks about bhakti as the source of all these qualities, or all these qualities are sustainable only if you have bhakti, and having bhakti is the most essential quality which leads you to develop other qualities. He gives a big list of qualities, and beginning quality is amanitvam, humility. Adambhitvam, pridelessness, right? Not expecting respect from others. Something like Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnana. Like that 13th chapter also has bhakti. 14th chapter definitely has bhakti towards the end. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevati. Sagunan samatityitan brahma bhuyaya kalpati. Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti. Krishna talks about unalloyed, unflinching, pure, undeviated devotional service. Okay. Now, what about 15th chapter? 15th chapter also has bhakti. Okay. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattaha smritir dhanamapohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyu vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Bhakti involves understanding that Krishna is the compiler of Vedas. Krishna is the knower of Vedas. By knowing all the Vedas, we are supposed to understand Krishna only. All the Vedas are meant to direct us towards understanding Krishna, knowing Krishna, and surrendering to Krishna. And the process of surrender also Krishna describes in the 15th chapter. What is that? Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha dvandvair vimuktaha sukha dukkha samnair gacchantya mudhaha padamavyayam tat. Right? Nirmana moha. Don't hanker for respect from others. Don't be illusioned, bewildered, confused. Okay. Jita sanga dosha. Be devoid of the faults of association. Adhyatma nitya, be in spiritual consciousness. Vinivritta kama, give up all material desires. Like that, Krishna describes the process of surrendering to Krishna. Okay. In many of these chapters in the last part of Gita, there's a lot of emphasis on Vaishnava character, developing good qualities, sadhu lakshan. Now let's come to the 16th chapter. In the 16th chapter, Krishna primarily talks about demoniac qualities and divine qualities. Especially in the first 3 shlokas, Krishna gives a big list of divine qualities. They're all qualities of devotee. Okay. And towards the end, he says, Yaha Shastra Vidhimutsrujya Vartate Kamakartah Nasa Siddhimavapnoti Nasukham Naparangatim. Yaha Shastra Vidhimutsrujya means one who gives up Shastra and then whimsically behaves the way he wants. Okay. Even if one performs bhakti without reference to Shastra also, he will only create utpata. Okay. Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatra vidhim vina, Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpata eva kalpati. That only creates agitation and disturbance in the society. Basically, in the 16th chapter, towards the end, Krishna emphasizes on following the scriptures while practicing bhakti. In 17th chapter, Om Tat Saditi Nirdesho, at the end, Krishna says, whatever you do, yajna, dana, tapa, whatever you do, you should do it as an offering to the Supreme Lord, basically, which is me, right? So he also kind of highlights or touches on bhakti in the 17th chapter. And what to speak of 18th chapter, which is the concluding chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Krishna speaks two jewel-like shlokas in the 18th chapter. What are they? Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. And finally, sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Don't worry, I will relieve you from all sinful reactions. You just surrender unto me, sufficient. You don't have to do anything else. So with such a reassurance, Krishna concludes Bhagavad Gita. And in entire Bhagavad Gita, bhakti is the most prominent message. Therefore, on this auspicious occasion of Gita Jayanti, let us try to accept this essential message of Bhagavad Gita, which is Bhakti Yoga, and try to practice bhakti to the best of our ability. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.